You know, I've seen a lot during my years as a police officer: wild chases, serious confrontations, but nothing could prepare me for the day I ran into the most entitled HOA Karen in the neighborhood. So here's how it started. I had just moved into a new house in a quiet, well-maintained suburban community. You know, the type: trimmed hedges, speed bumps every 30 feet, and of course, an overzealous homeowners association. Now, I work odd hours because of my job. Sometimes I get home late, sometimes I leave before sunrise. So on this particular week, I had come home around 3 a.m. and parked my unmarked police vehicle in front of my own house on the street. I was exhausted. Shift had been intense. No crimes committed, just routine patrols and a couple of late-night incidents. I went to bed thinking I'd sleep in, but no, not in Karen's neighborhood. At 8:15 a.m., barely 5 hours after I went to sleep, I hear this loud knock on the door. Not a friendly knock, a Karen knock. I open the door, still half asleep, and there she is, mid-50s, sunglasses too big for her face, clipboard in one hand, phone in the other, an attitude cranked up to 11. She doesn't introduce herself, doesn't even say hello. She just says, "You're in violation of HOA street parking rules. Your vehicle is going to be reported, and next time, it'll be towed." I blinked for a second, my brain still catching up. I ask, "I'm parked in front of my own house. What violation?" She points at my car and says, "No street parking overnight. It's a safety hazard. Didn't you read the handbook?" Now, here's the thing. The HOA does have rules, but this one, it's a suggestion, not enforceable. I knew because I actually read the handbook when I moved in, but Karen was counting on me not knowing that. Default, she pulls out this pre-printed ticket and sticks it under my windshield. The ticket was basically a threatening notice that looked official but was just an HOA warning. She smirks. "Consider this a warning. Next time, we escalate." I didn't tell her who I was. I just said, "Thanks for letting me know," and closed the door. I knew this wasn't the end. I put on my coffee and waited. Sure enough, the next night, I come home again at 2:30 a.m. Same spot, same situation. I park, go inside, sleep. And at 7:45 a.m. earlier this time, boom, another knock. I checked the Ring camera footage later. She actually measured the distance between my tires and the curb with a ruler. This time, she's really angry, says she has photos, says she's filing a complaint with the HOA board. I calmly explain that I am within my legal rights. The HOA cannot override city parking laws, and I've parked legally. She laughs and says, "We'll see what the board says about that, Mr. Tough Guy." But she didn't stop there. Later that week, I catch her taking photos of my vehicle again. Then I get an anonymous complaint to my department. She tried to file a report accusing me of illegal parking while identifying myself as an officer. That's a serious allegation. False, but serious. Now she's not just a nuisance, she's trying to weaponize the system. I looped in my supervisor, explained the situation, provided video footage, timestamps, even HOA documentation. They told me I could proceed how I saw fit, just stay professional. So, I did what I do best. I waited. One night, I parked my vehicle legally again. This time, I left a small body cam on my dash, recording overnight. And the next morning, jackpot, Karen shows up again, but this time, she brings a buddy, another HOA board member. They start measuring, inspecting, and then, they do something unbelievable. They try to remove my parking permit from inside the windshield. Yes, they tried to enter my vehicle. That's attempted tampering. That's illegal. And all of it, on camera. I step outside, badge on my belt, off duty, but legal identification shown. I say, "Ma'am, step away from the vehicle." She turns around, startled. The look on her face was priceless. You're a cop." "Yes, and you just tried to tamper with a government vehicle." She starts stammering, tries to backpedal, claims she was just inspecting it for safety. But her friend had already walked away. I call the local PD on record and report the incident. 2 units show up. Guess what? Karen was arrested for tampering with a vehicle and filing a false police report. She screamed about being harassed, about HOA immunity, but the officers reviewed the footage on site, clean-cut evidence. She was taken in for processing and later charged with misuse of authority and false reporting. The HOA issued an apology in writing. She was removed from the board. They even held a meeting about proper behavior and boundaries. I didn't attend. I just sat on my porch with a coffee, smiling. Look, I get that some HOA board members mean well. They want to maintain standards, keep the community safe, but power in the wrong hands, that's dangerous. And when someone tries to use their petty authority to intimidate people, they usually don't expect the person they're targeting to be a cop with a camera and the law on their side. So remember, always know your rights, stay calm, stay respectful, and sometimes let karma do the rest.